Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain-Free You. Today I wanted to talk about this idea of finding the safety-danger balance, okay? And it was kind of inspired by somebody who commented on YouTube in one of my recent videos and said, surely it's got to be more than messages of safety, right? Because that's not working for me. And I agree. You know, somebody said, mindlessly stating the affirmation, I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe, doesn't get you too far. And I agree 1,000%. And so, before I get into it, I've taken some notes, so I'm going to be looking over here sometimes. Slow your breath, slow your thoughts, drop your shoulders, hand on your heart if you like that self-hug feeling. It's quite comforting, actually. So, there's a constant flow of interpretation in the brain. Am I safe? Am I in danger? And that's why symptoms can change so quickly, so drastically. How can I be fine 1 minute and not fine the next? Because the perception of danger and the brain's interpretation of what's going on is not constant. It's not always steady. And so if it fluctuates, symptoms may fluctuate, and they often do. So I think it's important to just state right up front, safety's cool. Safety's where it's at. We want to convey to ourselves that I know what's going on. Right? I have some core fundamental stuff, and the core fundamental stuff is I'm not broken. Mindset. I'm really not. This is temporary. It's false alarm. The fundamentals. What causes symptoms? Perception of danger. Does that apply to me? Assessment. Yes, it does. Make a decision that it does. Right? Accepting that is key. Is there a solution? Yes. We see it every day here at Pain-Free You. And am I capable of it? That's what this coaching is all about, is to help everybody out there feel capable of doing this stuff. If other people can, you can too. So that's foundation. But the core features of safety are mental, emotional, physical safety. And I teach these concepts all the time. Safety with self. Am I treating myself well, or am I beating myself up all the time? Right? Because if we're looking at safety, danger, self-criticism, judgment, self-hatred even, is definitely in the danger category. So am I treating myself with kindness and compassion and support and encouragement? Or am I saying, you're awful, you're not doing enough, you're not good enough, you'll never get this done, you're too anxious, right? One conveys safety, you've got this, you can do it. The other, not so much. How do you respond to symptoms? That can either convey safety or you're in trouble. And so that's key. That's a core feature of this process, is how do you respond when symptoms get your attention, right? And shifting our attention from fixing, process, meditation, journaling, somatic tracking, amygdala this, vagal nerve this, brain retraining that, all of those things, and shifting from all of that fixing activity to living, even with symptoms. So that's some of the core stuff. So I'm going to go through a couple of lists that I've made. And so once again, it's not all about walking around the house saying, I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. Because after the 42nd time you do that, your brain's going to go, why are you saying this? You can't be safe if you're walking around trying to convince me you're safe. What's going on? You're really not safe, are you? So there's a lot of different ways we can convey safety, and I've done videos on this, 24 or 25 ways of conveying safety, or convey safety as many ways as possible. But I'll just run through it. Smile, use reassuring words, breathe, relax your body, show yourself kindness, self-love, positive, focus on positive sensations. Expect the best. Feel your emotions. Don't believe the negative thoughts. Reinforce your TMS belief with accurate knowledge. Remind yourself what's really going on. Have a direct conversation with your brain. Come on, brain. we're good. We can do this. I'm going to the grocery store. If you want to bring symptoms along, that's cool by me, because I know I'm not in danger, I'm not in harm's way, and nothing bad is going to happen. So, brain, let's work together, right? Direct conversations. Strike a powerful pose. I did that recently. We can influence our psychology with our physiology. Laugh with somebody, connect with others, listen to music, spend time in nature, engage in normal activity. Because when we do normal things and get out of the fixing world, when we do normal stuff that we would do otherwise if we were feeling all right, the brain has no choice but to notice, hey, look at Dan, he's doing normal stuff. I guess he's okay. Safety up, danger down, right? So, live your life instead of fixing. I've talked about that. Have fun despite the pain. Bring it along with you. Hey, if you have an opportunity to go to a family event for the holidays, don't stay home to avoid the pain. You're going to likely have pain at home. You're going to feel bad about not going to the family event. So you may as well go anyway. And so bring the pain with you. But focus on living. Focus on, life. Don't talk about symptoms. The more we talk about them, the more we're keeping them present. And neural circuits are what keeps things going. So the more we talk about them, the more they're going to be there, right? Because we're telling the brain through our actions and our words, this is significant, it's important. And the brain will say, got it, I'll remember that. And it keeps it going. So have fun despite the pain. Know that TMS is temporary. Perceived danger is temporary. There is a solution. You are watching the daily videos about it, and implementing these concepts is the solution. You can get better too. Watch funny shows on YouTube or on television, on Netflix. Meditate, exercise. All of these things convey safety in a wide variety of different ways. But if you stop there and you just say, I'm doing all this stuff, you may be missing out on the fact that danger is still being perpetuated through our thoughts and actions. So here's some things that kind of might be lurking underneath, not always conscious, but subconscious, some of our habits, our behaviors. So catastrophizing, our fear, our focus, our anxiety about the symptoms themselves, that can convey danger and may off balance a lot of that safety stuff I was just talking about. So trying to fix the pain, discussed that already. Avoidance, when we avoid movement, activity, foods, whatever, what we're doing is saying those things are the danger. And the brain goes, got it, I'll make a note of that. Oh, social activity is dangerous, you're avoiding that, got it, right? Next time you go to a social engagement, your brain's going to go, hey, what are you doing here, right? Those things. So body positions, movement, self-criticism, we talked about that. Various stresses, work, money, relationship, life, chaos in the world, politics. There's a lot of wild stuff going on this planet. And, those can all be perceived as dangerous. Now, I will make a specific point on this. We don't need universal safety in every aspect of being human. If we can get safety in the way we see ourselves, treat ourselves, our mental, emotional, physical states, feeling safer in the ways that we experience the world, can absolutely reduce and eventually turn off the symptoms. So other things that the brain perceives as dangerous: foods, chemicals, medication, abandonment, watching the calendar, say I need to be better by whatever, February 1st. Every day you get closer, that's more pressure. So watching the calendar adds to the danger. Measuring and monitoring symptoms. If you're tracking it, keeping a log. Hey, today it was a level 2. Wow, boy, yesterday it was a 5. Measuring and monitoring symptoms and tracking it all. Never really that helpful. Using medical names to describe our symptoms, And I have people all the time, well, I've got this or that medical terminology to describe my, symptom. And I'm like, well, do you have that, or do you have perceived danger pain? Do you have the medical term, or do you have a brain perceiving danger? It's a big difference when it comes to the subtle aspects of conveying I'm all right. Because the more you refer to it as, false alarm, perceived danger, not actual, that's better. But the more you say, I've got, an unstable sacrum, your brain's going, oh, body problem, no wonder it hurts. So using the medical labels, not good. Online research, stay off the internet. I mean, use the internet for fun, positive research, but if you understand this stuff and you've got mind-body as the cause of your symptoms, researching your symptoms in medical terms and procedures in the medical realm can only add to the danger. Nocebo is a real thing. It's the opposite of placebo. So toxic support groups, stay out of them. It's a bunch of scared people who don't know about mind-body teaching other people to be scared, right? Lovely people, well-meaning, they're trying to do their best to get through their own day, but if you're spending a lot of time there, that's creating this sense of danger. This one's interesting. Believing doctors, not believing doctors. So if you believe a doctor when he says, oh, that's why you hurt, but yet you're aware of mind-body and you've done the assessments and your symptoms behave like perceived danger pain, TMS. Believing the doctor when he says, well, there's your MRI or X-ray, you've got a problem. Believing the doctor can keep you in the danger stage. And other times, not believing a doctor can cause danger. Because if the doctor says, I don't see anything, you're fine, I don't see any reason for you to hurt or have X, Y, and Z symptom, a lot of times we go, they're missing something, and we don't believe the doctor in that case. And this last danger is kind of an all-encompassing, letting your life be consumed by symptoms. And I know there's a lot of stuff here that we do, and we might be saying, I'm doing the safety, Dan, I'm doing the safety. But if you're doing a few of the danger stuff, you're not making enough headway for the brain to say, Dan's okay, really, and turn things off. So I've run through a bunch of stuff. I'm going to see if we can dump all this stuff in the description of the video, whether it be Facebook or YouTube. So yeah, we'll have this list of stuff in the description so you can have it as a reference point. But if you feel like, hey, Dan, I'm doing the safety stuff, I'm not getting better, well, are you also still avoiding talking about symptoms, consumed by I'm trying to fix? Yeah, I'm doing safety as a tool to get better, and every time it doesn't work, I get frustrated. It's not working. Dan, this stuff's not working. That's being consumed by it. You're very outcome dependent. And this stuff is hard, folks. So what we want to do is raise the safety at the same time doing less and less of the things that keep the brain perceiving danger. So eventually, if danger's up here and safety's down here, by increasing this and lowering that, it's going to shift. And at a certain point, everybody is different. Your brain will say, we're actually okay. And symptoms can start to lower. But also recognize that the mindset shifts first before symptoms do. So you might be making mindset progress, starting to feel less concerned, less bothered by this stuff, more optimistic, more confident that this is temporary and you're on the right path. But then you go, but my symptoms aren't moving yet. All right, let's set that aside. They will eventually. But the more you focus on the symptoms not moving yet, you're conveying danger, right? So see what you can do to increase the various ways of conveying safety and decreasing the various ways that our actions or behaviors or thoughts are conveying that I'm in trouble, danger. And so eventually, again, you will reach that tipping point where the safety outweighs the danger and symptoms will start getting better. That's when you put your pedal to the metal, foot on the gas, and keep going with the safety, and let's cut out as much of the danger as possible. And that's how you're going to get better, folks. More safety, less danger. Don't forget the less danger, because so many people are focused on safety, safety. And part of that's my fault because I really lean on that. But we do want to really minimize the amount of danger which we are creating or keeping persistent based on our actions, thoughts, behaviors. So, hope this all helped. Look in the description for these lists, and I guess that's it. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Love you.